How's it going, everybody? This is the Erroneous One here with the Kingdom Hearts Union Cross update video. We did get some pretty cool little updates last night. Of course, it's for the banner. Why wouldn't it be for the banner right now, right? But it is actually a pretty cool one. So, numero uno. God, sorry, my glass messed up. Numero uno. We did get the story quest. That was yesterday. I'm bitly on this one, but it was 10 new story quests. But the biggest thing to take from this one, we're done with Agrabah. There will be no more Agrabah. There will be no more desert sand and, the little monkeys running around and all kinds of other stuff. We're done with Agrabah, and I am so very happy about it. On the flip side, or to add to that, though, I have to admit, one thing I didn't like about this was, number one, the world where it was all snowy. Basically, it was like a snow-textured desert, pretty much. The way those levels looked were actually really cool. I like the way they were animated. I like the way the graphics looked on it. It looked pretty solid, actually. So that was really neat. And then also the animations they used for the two mini final bosses, which I won't spoil for some people because they haven't gotten that far yet. They're pretty cool too. So I did like the animations using this one quite a bit. So that was neat. In particular, of course, you do the 10 quests and you get those 750 jewels. So that's always a nice thing to get as well. So there's that. That was a quick thing. It's nice. It's over. No more Agrabah. Hurrah for us. Bam. Oh, first off, the quiz event right here is pretty neat, pretty queasy. It's pretty queasy, pretty easy. It's a free 1,000 jewels, basically. You just go through and do the quiz. You can do it multiple times. Keep on trying to get the right answer. It's fine too. If you guys want, I know there are some people who have already posted the answers up on their Discords. I posted in my Discord. I know a few other ones did as well. Demo actually has a video walkthrough of it real quick for you. If you guys can go watch that. It's like 4 minutes and 90 some odd seconds, I think. No, 90 seconds. No, 4 minutes and 30 some odd seconds. So I mean, it's pretty quick overall. Again, 3,000 jewels. Go grab that. The big thing, not that one. Bam. The big thing we got though is we have a new banner deal. So we have two new medals coming through to us. We have the new Naminé EX Kai, and we have the new Prime Riku versus Roxas. Both look really cool. I like them both a lot. They both do different things. Naminé adds in, of course, a new mechanic to the game, which is pretty cool. Situational up to a point, but very, very interesting. I like very interesting. So the first thing I want to say about this banner, this is the kind of banner that I want to see more of in the game. This is actually, I think, overall, in terms of banner structure, this is a really good banner deal. Number one, you're guaranteed a copy of the Riku Roxas medal each pool. It has a mercy of 5. So at the 5th pool, you guys will go and get the 7-star version of Riku and Roxas, which is awesome. And give me 1 second, my cat is once again at the door. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Can't leave the door closed. Cat does not tolerate closed doors. Okay, so again, this banner structure. Again, it is a 5 mercy pool for the Riku and Roxas 7-star version, which is very nice. You're guaranteed 1 copy of the medal at 6-star each pool, so it's a little better off in terms of you're not getting just a trait medal. You're getting an actual usable medal regardless, even if you only pull 1 time. You're going to get one of these Riku and Roxas medals, which is awesome. You're guaranteed, of course, a certain level of skills attached to certain medals, which is nice. Again, AB 6 max is the maximum best you can get, pretty much, which isn't too terrible for the most part. And then it's AB 5 max SP gauge 1, AB 5 max Lux plus, and then triple threat, and then defense boost 1, 2, and 3. Again, the defense boost ones I really wish I didn't have there. Defense boost 1 and 2 is, for all intents and purposes, pretty worthless. Even defense boost 3 max is kind of like DB4 is in the game now, but DB3 is still very good for like the mid range of like PvP players who don't have DB4 on every setup and such. So that's not too bad. Still having it in the pool. Eventually I'm sure they'll add in like, AB6, SP gauge 1, and so on and so forth. But you get a skill attached to a medal, which is pretty cool. You can either add those medals into sub-slots, or you can like just stack them into an attack medal and get skills. Jesus, cat. Which is nice to have, a nice option to have, depending on your game setup. Do you value those sub-slots more, or would it be more valuable to throw in like a medal that has like AB6 or AB5 SP gauge 1 onto an attacking medal? That's kind of what you kind of have to look at and make a choice from that one. But it's a nice setup for that one too as well. You are also, of course, going to get the 3 mirrors per pool, which is good. Mirrors are good because you do need to have your medals at max guilt in order to turn them in 7 stars. So at least they're giving us access to those mirrors that way, in other formats too. But it also introduces this banner also introduces a new medal system with the Naminé in this case. So banners like this where you get like, there's a non-mergeable medal in the banner along with a pull medal in the banner is a really nice format. I like the little 1-2 combo thing going there. In particular, I also like the fact that the metal, while it's very, very good, it isn't, totally and utterly game changing. It's not going to, just utterly destroy the meta. It's really going to add to the meta and maybe shift the meta in slightly other ways, too. But one thing I also like about this metal, too, is that it is a PvE metal. This metal won't have too much utility in PvP. It'll have a few places there, here and there, just to help people out a little bit, I guess, in terms of, dealing guaranteed damage no matter the slot, in case you don't have if you don't have a certain metal that can fit on a certain slot, for instance. This one can help you do that, just doing damage, and it's always consistent damage, and it's something you can throw on like a defense boost skill fairly well, and then not lose out on putting a defense boost skill on an attacking metal, as an example. But its PvP implications aren't really there. It's more about the PvE stuff, which is good. It does show they are still focusing on the PvE aspect of the game, the content for the game, which is pretty important, in terms of Coliseum and raiding and maybe even a few actual in-game events and such. So that is pretty cool. And then of course the last aspect is you're guaranteed a 7-star each pool. So cool for that one. So I love the banner structure of this one here. This is definitely what I would like to see more of in terms of how banners are released. I wish they would slow down the rate of banners being dropped, but that's been an issue forever and a day with this game. But they are going to be doing that. It's nice to get guaranteed value out of these banners, and this one will definitely provide you that. So, for this case, this one, not too bad in terms of how it's formatted. The medals themselves now. Let's get to the medals themselves. First, we'll do Prime Riku and Roxas at 7-star. Deals 4 hits. Okay, it's 1 turn upright strength 3, matches strength by 7, SP attack bonus plus 80%, targets upright and matching defense by 7, general defense down by 5, and gauge plus 3. Damage plus 1 enemy, so it gets more damage against single targets, and it does not affect the counters of that whatsoever. Max multiplier of 35.90. So this is basically the upright magic version of Prime Roxas and Prime Roxas and Shion, which is pretty cool. We still need to get the upright power versions of those kind of things coming through pretty soon, which again is going to be pretty. I think it's going to be either going to be in the high score challenge through Leon and Squall, or Cloud and Leon, or we will get them in a debut banner where they're going to put in the three medals we're missing from the current high score challenge pool and global. We'll probably get them in a debut banner kind of thing, potentially. So either options are valuable, but we'll probably get those then. But this is a very powerful medal. It gets stronger with single targets, so it does decent AoE damage with the multiplier there. It shines though in, of course, single target battles against single enemies, and of course in PvP. So this is going to be mainly more of a PvP medal overall for the most part. On the flip side of this right here, we do have Namine, who is the PvE one, and this is very interesting. So for 3 turns, so she does go through for 3 turns on this one, and she after for that one too. Upright strength and PSM strength are up by 7. Your defense and your is increased by 2, and your PSM defense is increased by 3. So it is also a buffer for both defense as well. She will not take down your enemy's defense, so you do kind of have to pair with the medals, but she definitely ups your defense. So if you do manage to get one on one of her and you roll extra attack on her, that's going to be really, really useful. You're almost going to get guaranteed buffs in this one. And she, in that regard, would kind of replace Violet in terms of being a buffer for defense for you. On the other hand, though, Violet is going to be much more readily easy to get in the Incredible banner. So kind of do have to pick and choose with that one. She is going to increase the special attack bonus by 90, so she's another one of the ones that increases by 90, so she fits better at the higher Keyblade slot, one of the first ones. She increases the counter by 5. She does fixed damage of a total of almost 500,000, so not too bad. And the next medal is AoE. That is the biggest kicker for this one. It's going to turn some of those very powerful single target medals, like if you have a 7-star Lexius, or a 7-star Sora and Simba, or a 7-star Prime Axel, that have those pretty good multipliers for single targets, all of a sudden they are dealing that damage as AoE. The multiplier does not decrease, except outside of their own specifications. So a good example of that one would be Warrior of Light, FF Arcade Terra. They still state in their description that they will they deal more damage against a single target than they do against a group of enemies. That will not change. So if you do attack a group of enemies with Warrior Light, and it's after Namine Kai here, the Warrior of Light will deal AoE damage, but it will deal it at the reduced multiplier. It's not something to consider, but it's still a very cool thing to have in the game. It's still very worthwhile and very workable. In particular, again, Lexius, Sayax Kai, if it aims at 7-star and have them going after this one, all of a sudden they're doing all that glorious AoE damage with those huge multipliers. And it's going to be really, really good. Again, this is not a need-to-have medal. It's just a nice-to-have medal. What that's anything, guys. Sorry about that. 1 second. Okay, sorry about that. I had to go deal with that real fast. I don't even know what that was. It was just like a blank call. Right, so you're not needing this medal. You don't have to have this medal. It's not an important thing to have. Like, a needed thing to have. It's not going to be like a Kairi Kai or a Shion Kai, anything like that. But it is going to change a little bit of the game. It is definitely going to give you more, definitely more options. And it's going to make those single targets much more viable to use in a lot more situations now. So that was a thing that I haven't really mentioned in the past, but I started noticing, and I was talking to a few friends about on Discord and such. And that is, we were getting so many medals that were either just single or random target for those huge damage bonuses, or they were AoE medals like Prime, Riku, and Roxas that were stronger against single enemies, but still had like decent or pretty well decent. I say decent. That's still a good multiplier for AoE. 23.85 is still a good multiplier for an AoE. But they are focusing on a lot of those. This one is allowing all those other ones we have now to be utilized outside of that. So, very cool thing to have. It's a neat new mechanic. I do like that they're still adding new mechanics into the game. It's pretty cool. I didn't ever see a mechanic like this one coming, honestly. I didn't think we were going to get anything like this, but she's going to be useful. She's going to have a lot of stay. I mean, again, you're going to get buffed. You're going to have your single target medals turn into AoE medals. It's pretty cool to have. So, well, I wouldn't bust the bank going for her, which I'm not going to do. If you get her, it'll be good fortune for you. After this video uploads and everything, I will be doing my 5 pulls for Riku and Roxas and see how we do on that one, and we'll go from there. If I manage to pull her in those 5 pulls, I will be super happy. If I don't, it's going to be okay. Eventually she'll come out in another way or another format, or we'll get like a different version of a medal that does the same thing, but maybe without those defensive buffs, that kind of thing. So it's not the end of the world, but one thing to consider as well too is that she will probably be a high score percentage medal at some point in the future, more than likely. It's a good chance of that, so you kind of have to factor all those little things in. But I digress. This is pretty much all this update is, and this is what this medal is. Again, it's a good medal. Very cool medal to have. Very cool mechanic to have inside there. But it is not like absolutely you need to have this medal. It's not super game or meta breaking or anything. But it's a very nice overall utility medal. If you get it, awesome. If you don't, no big deal, guys. As far as that one goes, that'll be it. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you pretty soon for that pool video. See you guys.